3 super simple ways to supercharge your happiness. Hello, all you beautiful souls out there in my social media family. How are you doing today? My name is Chris, and I'm here to help you find your happiness. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 3 super simple ways to supercharge your happiness. Now, the whole thing that inspired this video for me was I got to a point in my life where I had reached a really good level of happiness, and I was finding and experiencing a bunch of joy in my life, but yet I knew that there was more possible. And one of the things that I really realized throughout all of my past experiences, and this is going to be the first tip, is that I didn't put enough time aside for myself. So that is the first tip, is schedule some you time. It's important that we take time for ourselves, because a lot of the times we'll sit there and we're constantly doing things for other people, and not just that, but then at work, school, if you got kids, then you really know what I'm talking about. And so it's really important to schedule some time for yourself. Now, for me, the way that I do that is every morning when I wake up, I take the first 20 minutes of my day and I just sit there with my coffee, right? And what I do is I have a conversation with myself the same way I would with you if we were sitting at a coffee shop every morning, right? And I talk about those things like, hey, how's your day going? What's going on in your life? Like, what are the things that you're struggling with right now? And what I've noticed, the more that I do that, the more in tune I am with the things that are going on emotionally, mentally, and also in my external world. And therefore, it allows me to be able to process these things in a much easier fashion. And actually, I get to work through a lot of things in ways that I probably would never be able to had I not been having these types of conversations with myself, right? So again, it's very important to set aside some time for yourself, okay? Number 2, be okay with saying no. And I know for a lot of us, that's a really hard one. I know it was for me in the past, because I'm a giver. I get a lot of joy out of doing things for other people. And when I can do something for somebody else that makes them happy, it makes me happy as well. However, one of the things that we need to be very mindful of is that when we start to do things for other people, when we haven't done enough for ourselves. And I know that all of you have probably experienced this at one point or another, where somebody asks you to do something and you're like, okay, I can do that for you, right? And so those are the moments that I'm talking about, being okay with saying no. And one of the ways that I was able to really start to be able to get comfortable with doing that is by telling somebody, not right now. I can do that for you. I wouldn't say no like all outright and just be like, no way, I'm never gonna do that for you. I would just say, no, not right now. So that way I didn't feel like I was literally brushing somebody off, okay? And again, for me, I enjoy doing things for other people. So it would be something that I would want to do for somebody, but just not at that moment in time, right? So you gotta be extremely, extremely comfortable with saying no, and practice it on some of the smaller things, okay? So I know that some of us may have a really hard time doing that in general with everything, but start practicing some of the smaller things. If you're sitting at home with your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or even friends, and they're that much closer to the refrigerator or to the TV or to the remote, and they ask you, hey, can you get me a drink or get me the remote? Those are the kind of things you can easily say no to, right? So just be comfortable with saying no, all right? And the next thing that I want you guys to get comfortable with saying, all right, with doing is not having I lost my whole train of track there. Something caught my eye over here. But anyways, the reason that I wanted you guys to get comfortable with saying no is that, again, I did a video on this, and it's not selfish to stand up for yourself. So when you're in those moments where you're just like, ugh, and you really don't want to do something for somebody at that moment, just say no, not right now, all right? And that'll be the easiest way for you to be able to get, into getting comfortable saying no on the bigger things, all right? So tip number 3, no electronics 1 hour before bed. Now, this is one that I found extremely, extremely helpful, not just to be able to go to sleep, but also the way that I woke up the next day, right? And it was something that this is probably the one thing that I'll highly recommend. If you can't do the first 2, I highly recommend starting this one, all right? And the reason that's so important is because our conscious minds can only comprehend, they can only take in 40 things per second. However, our subconscious mind takes in 11 million. So if you can imagine in 60 seconds, how many things our subconscious mind, that's 66 million things that our subconscious mind is taking in that 1 minute time frame. So you can imagine when you're swiping through Facebook or Instagram or surfing the internet, watching the news, even if you're only paying attention, like consciously paying attention to the good posts that are in there, your subconscious mind is picking up every single last little thing that you're swiping past. So if you're talking about, manifestations and you're wanting to manifest the good things in your life, you want to set yourself up right to have a good night's sleep, and also because that's going to set you up for the next morning and have a good morning, all right? So it's extremely important 1 hour before bed, and if you really want to take that extra step, 1 hour after you wake up in the morning. And that's one for me, like that is my morning ritual and my evening ritual. When I go to sleep, I put the phone down. The only thing, I might be watching like something on TV, right? But even then, I try to like step away from any swiping of any sort, right? Where there's some negative things that could be coming up. Like, so for me, like I'm usually watching some Gary Vee or watching some really cool, like, funny video clips or something like that that's going to get me in a good mood or at least a neutral mood, right? So then in the morning, it's also very important to do the same thing because you want to start your day off right. Okay, so again, 3 things are schedule you time, be okay with saying no, and no electronics 1 hour before bed. All right, everybody, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, and please share this video with somebody who you think might benefit from it, because we never know when the right words from the right person will hit somebody at the right time and help them find their happiness. All right, everybody, until next time, don't forget to join me over on the Vibe Tribe group page, as well as follow me on Instagram. I'm sharing more of my day-to-day thoughts and how I get past certain things that, obstacles and things like that come up in my life. So it's exclusive content that I'm not sharing here over on Facebook, on YouTube. So again, all those links will be in the description below. And last, don't forget to subscribe. All right, everybody, I'm sending you all much love. Namaste.